not even interceptions. They're the ugliest interceptions.
They're overthrows. He's doing it on purpose sometimes.
It looks like it.
It's picked off by Seattle Maxwell. Oh, man, what an interception. The 4th of the day for Eli Manning.
It's a different part of the offense. When Carmelo Anthony's at the power forward position, he has more room to operate because even though bigger players are on him, he can just shoot over them. He's faster than bigger players in the league.
So that's what makes Carmelo Anthony special.
Yes.
Special. He's a special player because not everybody can do that.
In the hands of Anthony. Anthony for 3. Puts it in! Next by 1 with 8.2 remaining.
But you know what's going to shock the world is if somebody comes closer to the Yankees. To know, I don't think he's going to hesitate that much or just leave him. I think he may just leave.
Nah, he's going to stay.
Robinson Cano has agreed to sign with the Mariners.
Just fortunately for the Giants, they were on the winning end of the sloppy game.
They were less of a slob on the dinner table.
Listen to this.
The Giants were less of a slob than the Raiders were at the dinner table, and the dinner table was the football field.
I don't know how you do it. I don't understand. You come up with these things on the top of your head.
On the spot.
A-Rod and Jeter both brought in more fan excitement. There was always more of a buzz.
1-2. He loops out to left field. Going to be a tough play. Jeter on the run. Makes the play. And flies into the stands. Oh, what a play by Derek Jeter.
You know how excited I am?
I know. I can see it in your face.
I'm more excited than a caterpillar on the day turning into a butterfly. That's how excited I am for the Knicks coming back.
And we are sitting here, two legends of the trade. Sports broadcasting is what we do.
That's what we do, man.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Sports debating, even got Skip and Steve and they hating. Just two dudes from the 914 talking about basketball, baseball, and so much more. So tune in and don't be loony. Now let's get to the action like a Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, with your host Anthony Caro, Benzino the hero. Let's go.
Hello and welcome everybody to this edition of AB Conversation.
That's right.
Whoa, somebody woke up on the energetic side of the bed today.
Yippee-ki-yay, I'm here. Benzino the hero, back on the ones and twos. And Carl, what's up?
Benzino, I like caffeine. Wait, tell me, it's caffeine.
I drank
some coffee.
I don't drink coffee. I'm a hot chocolate enthusiast. I
I
don't drink coffee.
Wait a second.
I just had Mountain Dew.
Hot chocolate enthusiast. All right, so you don't like coffee, but you had what? Mountain Dew?
I just had Mountain Dew.
So wait, what does that mean about you're a hot chocolate enthusiast? What does that mean?
I enjoy hot chocolate. I do not like coffee. I think that's for adults, and I'm not an adult.
Oh, so are you still a kid? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm 19, but I do not like the taste of coffee. It's yucky.
You know, I completely agree with you, Ben. I like thinking I'm still a kid, even though other people tell me otherwise. And coffee is the staple of the adult life.
Yes.
Everybody who's an adult drinks coffee usually.
Correct.
I drink it a little bit now, but I find that I just can't get hooked on it like other people do.
Nah, I understand it makes people wait because of the caffeine, but for me, that's not my cup of tea.
People get
it's coffee, but I drink hot chocolate.
Not my cup of tea. I think people, you know what? I think they become dependent on it, and it becomes like a drug. They need it.
Well, caffeine is a drug.
That's true. Caffeine acts as a drug. Yeah. So anyway, besides all this coffee talk, I must say to you, today is a happy day for me. I'm blessed to be alive. I'm happy to be up and doing this show with you. But today was going to be a day of complaining for me.
Really?
I will be complaining a lot.
Wow.
Because sports to me has given me the opportunity to complain a lot in the past week.
Mm-hmm.
A few things we're going to discuss today. I'll tell you, number one, we're going to be getting into the incident of Ray Rice and the NFL's decisions.
Also, the Luol Deng situation with the Atlanta Hawks.
Also, Luol Deng, which is going to be a topic of, I think, complaint for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to move a little bit later on to some football, maybe the bright spot in today, besides the New York Giants, because I will be complaining about them.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll cap it off later on with some basketball, maybe some Yankees, which will involve some more complaining from me.
Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get the show on the road. Benzino, what's going on with this current situation of Ray Rice and the NFL?
Ray Rice, as we all know, before talking in last week's show, he was suspended 2 games. This week, it's not the same suspension.
No.
He's out indefinitely. And he was on the Baltimore Ravens last week.
That's true.
That's not the case this time.
No.
Contract terminated by the Baltimore Ravens. Why?
Why? Well, you know what? Benzino likes to you like to throw out analogies a lot. And I enjoy that part of you. But you know what? I have to throw one out, and I have to be honest. This is not my analogy. I have to credit this to the one and only Mike DeMurgis here at Iona College.
Mike DeMurgis.
Shout out to Mikey D. But he made a very good analogy, and I like to use that here. The whole situation with Ray Rice in the NFL and Roger Goodell and his choice to give Ray Rice the 2-game suspension when he saw the original video back in February was like a guy who saw the smoke but didn't go look for the fire. So if you're in a house that's burning down and you see the smoke and you smell the smoke, aren't you going to try to locate the fire to put it out?
Yes, you would.
Right, you would. You'd try to put it out. I think that would be a lot of people's. Although a lot of people will probably run away and try to get out of the house. But I think if you're trying to, maybe a bad analogy was the house. Let's say there's a fire that's containable.
Okay.
You can put it out. It's not huge. There's a fire there, and you have the opportunity to put it out. You see the smoke. You don't go look for that fire to put it out. What happens? The fire burns everything down. That's exactly what Roger Goodell did by seeing the smoke, which was that original video of Ray Rice dragging his then-fiancée, Janae Palmer, out of the elevator.
Yes.
Didn't go look for the fire,
No.
which was the other half of that video of what caused her to get knocked down.
Well, last week, me and Anthony were talking about, Anthony said, yeah, Ray Rice really punched his wife. I'm like, yo, that's alleged reports. Those were allegedly the reports.
Right.
But now the video has surfaced by TMZ of Ray Rice, the windup and the punch to Janae Palmer.
The wind-up and the punch. They both, now in the elevator, both hit each other at one point.
I think Janae Palmer spit on him.
Okay, Janae, well, yeah, they were both grappling with each other.
They were arguing.
Right. And then I believe Ray hit her once, and then she came back at him, and he clocked her again, knocked her into the railing.
Yeah.
In the elevator. She hit her head on the railing, that's what knocked her out. Now, as you mentioned, the current state of this is Ray Rice is not in the NFL anymore due to his indefinite suspension by Roger Goodell, which was obviously it's something he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about it. He didn't act upon the first video in the right way at all.
No, he was criticized heavily.
2-game suspension for something like that, I don't personally believe that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of people felt the same way. Now, TMZ goes out, they buy this video. They spend money, apparently TMZ buys videos. Harvey Levin, you know who that is?
The dude with the cup.
The dude with the cup.
Yeah, the dude with the cup.
He's also a lawyer and he's an attorney and he's the head of he's the
TMZ's a entertainment outlet, exploits the news of celebrities and high profile people in this world.
And he's the big shot, pretty much, newsroom director pretty much of TMZ. And he's on an interview yesterday that I'm watching, and people say to him, TMZ, you guys went and bought the rights to this video. Obviously TMZ did a lot of maneuvering to get that video.
Yes.
Because it's been months now since that original video. Mm-hmm. And now Harvey Levin TMZ does a lot to get their hands on that video. Probably pays a good penny. And now the media, according to Janae Rice now, is at fault. The media is at fault.
For exploiting the video?
According to her, the media ruined their life. Mr. Rice's wife, Janae, says that the media should be blamed for destroying the relationship between her and her husband. not themselves, who basically find abuse in the relationship quite okay. The media,
Yes.
the ones who expose the abuse by examples of like TMZ going to pay for video, they're at fault. They're at fault.
It's an internal problem between the two of them. I'm sorry that situation happened for both of them.
Right.
I don't think any situation should have escalated to the point that it did.
Right.
But I guess they had a heart-to-heart with each other. I don't know what they said to each other, but it seemed to be they're okay with the fact that it happened and they're trying to move on. This incident happened in February.
Right.
We are in the month of September.
Right. But the problem is Ben, the world can't move on. In other words, violence in society against women is not allowed.
Not tolerated.
Right. Exactly. Not tolerated. I'm not going to nobody will let a man hit a woman.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're okay themselves with each other and they can forgive each other about punching each other months ago, the world, the NFL, the commissioner of football, and everybody else involved, the media, everybody, they can't let that go.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be an adequate punishment for what has happened here. Roger Goodell's punishment originally, according to many people, wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Now he goes and he punishes, I guess, what he feels is fittingly.
Well, the premise of the 2-game suspension was off the initial first video.
Right.
Now that video has been surfaced now in September, could the NFL or Roger Goodell could have went to the casino and be like, yo, I need to see the video.
Right.
I need to assess the situation.
Right. That's a great point. And I think that's what a lot of people with Roger Goodell that are blaming him for this situation, they're telling, in his defense, he's going to say, listen, we tried to attain any other evidence that would show us what exactly happened on the other side of that elevator.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you can necessarily blame him for not hunting down, like making it his everyday duty for months to hunt down that other part of that video in order to punish Ray Rice, because the Ravens, I'll tell you one thing, the Ravens were not on that boat. They want to keep their running back.
Yeah.
They're not going to go out and try and find the video of him hitting his wife so he could get suspended and they lose their Super Bowl running back.
Yeah.
The Ravens are not going to do that. Some people would feel that Roger Goodell is expected to do something like that, and it's his responsibility as commissioner to find that video and punish Ray Rice, because obviously 90% of people probably thought she wasn't just passed out. He hit her.
There's obviously a camera in the elevator. You're in a casino in Atlantic City.
Right.
There's obviously a camera in the elevator.
Right, and something caused her to be knocked out on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, in his defense, we could think that if he did go and try to get that other part of the video, that's what we need. That's what we all deserve, is for him to go and try, for the benefit of our society, for the benefit of violence against women, to try and track down the video of how she actually got knocked down.
Yes.
But people can blame him for two things. Number one, not giving him a big enough suspension for everybody watching him drag his wife out of an elevator.
Yes.
And number two, not trying hard enough to find that other video, to have proof in the pudding to punish him for a whole season like he does now with that TMZ bought video.
It was rumored that Rice told NFL people about what happened, and then NFL people saw the video, but Goodell didn't. So there's a whole
misconstruing there. Yes, there were exactly. There were people who claim they saw the video, but nobody opened their mouth.
Yes,
pretty much. Now, is Roger Goodell one of these people? He claims he didn't. He said he did not see that video.
I hope he didn't see it. I hope for his sake.
I hope for his sake too.
I hope he didn't see that video.
I hope for his sake too. So Ben, where does the NFL go now? Ray Rice, you being a person from New Rochelle, you know Ray Rice probably a little bit better than I do. Have you ever met him personally?
I've seen him personally, dapped him up.
You have, so you have said hi to him.
I said hello, yeah.
Right. So can you tell us a little bit about Ray Rice and maybe his life here in New Rochelle? Some stuff that viewers that don't live in New Rochelle might not know.
You're getting an inside scoop. Not a lot of people have this stuff available to them.
Ben Zeno's the one and only who does.
Ray Rice in New Rochelle is looked at as more than a football player. He's looked like as a hero to people in New Rochelle. For Ray Rice in New Rochelle, he gives back to the community tremendously. When the football team was going up for state championships at New Rochelle High School, he being from New Rochelle, played for New Rochelle High School, gave the kids new Nike gear and Dr. Dre Beats headphones.
Wow.
For the basketball team, decked them out in new gear.
Wow.
In New Rochelle, there's Ray Rice Day. Gives back to the kids, teach them some football stuff. He brings players from the Ravens with them and have a good thing for the community. It was Ray Rice Day in New Rochelle. Everywhere Ray Rice was looked as a hero. But now, since this tape happened, the city's kind of turned his back against him.
Yeah.
In New Rochelle, his Ray Rice number 27 jersey is up in the gym. That's
Right.
not there anymore.
Really?
His Ray Rice in New Rochelle, there's a hallway, and it's famous people from New Rochelle that went to the high school that have a plaque.
Right.
That plaque's not there anymore. In Albert Leonard, another middle school in New Rochelle, he has a Got Milk ad taken down.
Wow. So people are abandoning Ray Rice in this incident. I don't know, Ben. I don't know if I could say in somebody's worst moments, which via Twitter and social media, Ray Rice and his wife have made that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of their worst moments. Janae even is, she's sticking up for her husband.
Yes.
She says it's a horrible nightmare. She just wants this to all be over with and her husband, whom she loves, to be back. Ray Rice says he's got to be strong for his wife. I don't know if I could turn my back on somebody who I supported, like the city of New Rochelle did for him in their rough moments.
Yeah.
But they certainly, if they do, you can't fault them, because violence, unfortunately, against women in this society is not tolerated.
What, as a community, or in some parts of the community, they're saying what he did, we know what he did was wrong.
Right.
But to turn the back on the guy that put New Rochelle on the map
Right.
is a different thing.
It is a different thing. I don't particularly. I don't know if I would agree. I couldn't sit here myself and say what is right or wrong for the people of New Rochelle, the fans of Ray Rice. I can't say it's wrong for them to turn their back on him, because they might have a reason that's very much intertwined with their lives, of maybe they know a woman who's abused by her husband. Maybe they know, maybe they're just, maybe they themselves are a very strong advocate against that.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just a normal person who says, I don't care how much I love this guy. If he hits his wife, I'm not supporting him.
Yeah.
I can't blame them for saying that. I also, though, can't say that every New Rochelle person should turn their back on him.
Yeah.
Because
he did a lot for the community and for the children of New Rochelle.
Exactly. From what I understand, he's a good guy. So I can't take either side. All we know is the facts are out, and football has suffered another blow.
Yes.
Ben, I want to make a statement to you. I want to ask if you agree with me. The NFL, I want to make a bold statement. The NFL is somewhat a culture of death, or exemplative of a culture of death. And what I mean by that is, maybe the word death is very strong, because the NFL brings a lot of joy to life.
Livelihood.
But let me ask you this question. When you watch other professional sports, baseball, hockey, maybe even basketball, do you see some of this, to the extreme that it happens in the NFL, do you see the amount of drugs, gang violence, bullying, murder trials, and all the stuff that sometimes gets swept up in the NFL? Do you see as much of that in other sports as the NFL?
Well, the NFL has a 53-man roster.
Correct.
And
that's true.
There's more people in the league.
That's true.
NFL, the lifestyle of an NFL player is more exploited into a negative connotation through the media at times. So you will hear more. There's always reports about, since the NFL draft, how many players have been arrested. Since the Super Bowl, how many players have been arrested.
Right.
There's a lot of people do crimes regardless.
Right.
That's just the way society is.
That's
people
true.
have done crimes, but in the profession of football, there's going to be the person on the team you like, and he might be a criminal.
That's true.
So that's just society in itself.
Right. I think what my point is that when you look at even the Ravens organization in general, you look back at Ray Lewis, convicted for
murder.
He committed murder. Let's look at
Dante Stallworth. Another Raven.
Right. Let's not
Killed
even,
somebody.
Right. Let's not even look at the Ravens. Let's look at O.J. Simpson. Let's look at past recently, Richie Incognito, the whole incident with Jonathan Martin.
Ocho Cinco, another domestic violence case.
Exactly.
He hasn't been in the NFL since.
Deshaun Jackson getting,
Gang-related.
cut for gang-related
Incidents.
So when you look at all of this, and a lot of this, especially the performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, a lot of it, some of the crimes, they're just let go of. And these players are right back in the league.
Yes.
There's a much higher tolerance for crimes in the NFL than there is in other sports.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And I think that a lot of this may play into why guys like Ray Rice and other guys, that do these crimes, they easily commit them.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would back up and think a little bit more if the punishments were a little bit harsh. And I think that's what Roger Goodell and the Ravens had to do in this incident. Because a few months ago, they were following along the normal path of the NFL.
Yep.
2-game suspension for plummeting my wife in the face.
Yeah.
Or I should say at the time, dragging my wife out of an elevator
Yep.
unconscious. 2-game suspension, I'm back. Boom, I can do this again. I can beat my wife up again. Now I think Roger Goodell had to make a statement.
Yes.
And I think that his job is in jeopardy if he didn't.
Most definitely. I have a point to bring up to you.
Go ahead.
That was brought to my attention by Franklin.
Okay, Franklin Osorio.
One of our NBA NFL. This guy knows his stuff.
Okay.
He was bringing up a point that the PR move had to be made because of the woman demographic of fans going into NFL and buying apparel and all that stuff. So that had to be clear to women,
right? That
the NFL won't tolerate this.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Today came out, or recently that woman spokesperson, president of, I'm sorry, I can't quote.
A women's advocacy?
It was a women's advocacy group against domestic violence. I can't quote the exact name of the group. Maybe that is it. But the president of that group, she is advocating for Roger Goodell's firing. She wants him fired.
For not acting.
For not acting soon enough. So, I mean, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because women are a big part of the society.
Yes.
And without being something done here, we're going to lose women in this situation.
Most definitely.
They're going to be against
the NFL.
The NFL, and
his jersey's also been dropped from NFL Shop, Dick's Sporting Goods, Modell's. So
and all of his
and Madden, he's not in Madden anymore. Even though in the Aaron Hernandez case, Aaron Hernandez was dropped out of the video game, so I guess the video game doesn't want to have part of Ray Rice.
Right. There's another example, Aaron Hernandez, recent example. So, I mean, this is just this is an unfortunate circumstance.
Most definitely.
But I think that the way that it's been taken care of, is adequate at the moment with the endorsements who are pulling out the punishment he's been given, and I hope for the best for Ray Rice and his wife, and for the situation.
The
to get
family
resolved.
itself. Who cares about the job? The family. That's
Exactly.
somebody you love.
It's tough for them as well.
We have to stay on tough topics for the first segment.
Unfortunately, we do.
But we're switching the sport.
We are.
And that sport we're now heading into is the National Basketball Association. And with regards to the Atlanta Hawks,
right,
and Miami forward Luol Deng.
Correct.
In this situation, we're now going to talk about Bruce Levinson, the owner, majority owner of the Atlanta Hawks, got an email.
Correct.
And this email was a scouting report on all the interest of acquiring Luol Deng.
Right.
And in the meeting, Danny Ferry, the GM of the Atlanta Hawks, and other GM people around the league, inside Hawks people, were giving a scouting report, background information look on Luol Deng.
Right.
And in this report, racist comments and offensive comments were made on behalf of Luol Deng.
Yes.
Not on behalf. That means, would on behalf be correct, or on the fact it was mentioned with Luol Deng's name?
Right. Against Luol Deng.
Against Luol Deng. Right. And those comments were the background info. Okay. In the email, the comments was Deng has a little African in him. Also, not in a bad way, but he's like a guy who would have a nice store out up front, but sell you counterfeit stuff in the back.
Boom. That's where you're wrong.
Wow.
That is where you are wrong. There's no way around it.
Yes.
The first comment, I don't know where he was going with that. that
Not
he
at
has a
all.
little African in him. I don't know why I don't know
Why is that mentioned?
why is that in the scouting report.
Yeah.
Isn't this about his basketball skills?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me if I'm incorrect here. Larry Bird is one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game.
Yes.
Larry Bird was a white man.
Yes.
Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson, better comparison. African American man, one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game.
Correct.
He's a black man. Do you need to write in the scouting report their ethnicity?
No.
No, it
No.
doesn't apply. What applies is it should not be taken into consideration
The
their
race.
race.
Yep.
So that now we know that owners, Donald Sterling talk and all this,
Yeah.
probably ask their scouts to illustrate what ethnicity they are.
Yeah.
To me, that's ridiculous.
I want to know who would send the email to the Bruce, like what person send the email to the owner, but in the report there was like, yeah, that's not supposed to be read. So why is it in it then if it's not supposed to be read?
Exactly.
Why is it in it?
Why is it there? So in our society today, unfortunately, we take, us being students still.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've taken tests or filled out paperwork where you had to indicate what nationality you were, what ethnicity you were.
I don't answer those questions.
You don't. Okay. Now they give you the option not to.
Yeah.
I do not want to disclose or whatever it says.
Yeah.
I mean, now they say it's for, just for basically the way they word it is that they're not going to use that against you. It's almost just for their
Yeah.
knowledge,
Yeah.
right? You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? So that's the same thing here. We're not going to pay attention to that information, but just tell us if he's black or white.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or Hispanic or
right, or Hispanic
Asian
or
descent.
whatever. I don't understand that.
Not
I
at
really
all.
don't. And the second part of that comment really crossed the line about how the little bit of African is like being a good store owner but selling illegally in the back.
That makes it doesn't regard to anything basketball related.
No.
But Luol Deng is an upstanding citizen in the NBA world. Luol Deng made a statement about this. Quote, "I'm proud to say, actually, I have a lot of African in me, not just a little."
There we go.
So the man's from South Sudan.
Correct.
He went to high school, got noticed, got committed to Duke, went to Duke. Now he has a nice NBA career. He just recently signed with the Miami Heat. Before that, a long-time Chicago Bull, then got traded to Cleveland. But Luol Deng, in 2008, won the UN Refugee Agency of Humanitarian Award. He has the Luol Deng Foundation. He has basketball camps set up in Africa for the children. And this year, 2014, he won the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award for the NBA. So if the person that we're describing is Luol Deng, it shouldn't be necessary.
Shouldn't at all.
He's the total opposite of what the connotation of the email was.
Exactly. Absolutely. And those two things that you just mentioned about the humanitarian award and stuff like that,
It's his character. His
Right.
character does not go. It's like the total opposite of the statement.
right. And in his scouting report, that's almost equivalent to his ethnicity, meaning they both have nothing to do with his basketball skills.
Yeah, that's what he alluded to as well.
Right. But if you're going to write one of those things, please tell me about his awards
Yes.
and what kind of person he is and not the color of his skin.
Most definitely.
So that's the way I feel about that one. I mean, ridiculous. I mean, people just say stupid things in this world.
Yeah, he's ignorant too. Very ignorant.
Yeah,
That's a
absolutely.
fact straight. That's uncalled for.
Uncalled for.
Both situations.
And I'm happy Luol Deng responded, though, with dignity.
Yes.
Because the worst way to do this is step down to that level.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't do that.
He's above citizen. That's why he got the award, the citizenship award.
Exactly.
He knows how to handle himself professionally, and that's what he alluded to. He said, "Judge me off my professionalism, my NBA ability, not my skin color."
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Well, I think this wraps up segment number 1 here.
Segment number 1.
I think that was a very good in-depth convo. Me and Ben getting deep over
It
here.
has to be. It has to be.
You got to keep getting deep with us. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be deep anymore throughout this show, but
Nah, we'll step into
some football.
5 foot, 7 foot area of a pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we won't go into the deep
We
end.
won't be in the deep end anymore. We'll be going shallow. But hang around with us here at AB Conversation. We will be right back.